Have you ever wanted a tool that you didn't have or maybe didn't exist? What did you do? Well, stick around and see what I did. Hi everyone, it's Miriam with a Y from Miriam's Nature. I've seen a lot of beautiful bottle bottom pours that I believe Sabrina of Suave Arts started, and I've been intrigued by this technique. But you know me, I'm not content to do it the way it's already been done. I wanted to come up with a way to add my own take on it. Specifically, make it smaller so that more than one flower could fit on a canvas. Then one day, while rinsing out an apple juice bottle and filling it with water, I noticed this on the bottom of that bottle. It seemed promising, but it was inverted, meaning the part that might work was on the inside. So I had to cut it out to see. So this would be the part that you see, and then this is the inside. But the way the ridges were, it didn't really work, so I made this little hot glue thing, and then I put this little stick here so I could pick it up easily. Because since the beginning of time, man has wanted to make his own tools. Yeah, well, thank goodness early man didn't have a glue gun, because this is possibly one of the weirdest things I've ever made. But I really want to see if I can do something meaningful with it. So let's play together, okay? Since this was going to be my very first bottle bottom pour, and I didn't know if this little doodad was going to work, I didn't want to waste a lot of paint or a canvas just yet. So I just grabbed a handful of colors, all of them DecoArt Americana, to see what could happen. Before starting, I lay down a circle of white paint to allow the colors a place in which to flow. I quickly realized that the openings I had left myself for the paint to slide through were a little too narrow, but I was already into this, so I figured I might as well keep on going. Things actually were starting to look promising, but I had to wonder what would happen when I lifted the little tool. The first thing that had to happen was filling in the big hole in the middle. I decided that since there was enough paint on the canvas, I could probably tilt to fill it in, and that worked just fine. I actually liked the varying flower shapes that developed along the way. Some of them were really pretty. The other thing that was really interesting to me was the fact that the other colors stayed blanketed by the yellow. Like they were all underneath the yellow. My guess is that the yellow was a bit thinner, maybe, than the others, so it couldn't push the other colors as expected when it ran down. So instead it ran on top of them. That's just a guess. But it gave the individual petals an interesting look. Now that the middle was filled, I kind of had to fix it because it looked a little wonky. It was time to play with my trusty bamboo skewer. I do love this thing. I worked on adding a little bit of interest and correcting some of the shapes that got maybe too distorted. The fun part about test pieces is that you can play and experiment and not worry about the outcome. It's a really freeing experience that I really highly recommend. You learn a lot along the way without that sometimes paralyzing fear of putting something down on that blank canvas. So I gave myself permission to do anything I wanted. Wipe away that, drag through this, swirl that. Nothing was a mistake, as long as I learned as I went. And then, finally, all that was left to do was fill in the rest of the canvas with white paint so that there wouldn't be, you know, that awkward ridge line where the pour ended and the naked canvas began. Now, having that under my belt, I got brave. And I thought, if I made some alterations to my little glue gun super wonder tool, maybe I could improve the flow of the paint. I decided to work on that the next day. Tune in tomorrow to see part 2. Things got interesting and very, very colorful. Take a moment to subscribe before you go so that you'll be notified when the video comes out. Hit that thumbs up, share, and let me know in the comments what you think so far. See you tomorrow. Now, go let your creative nature shine. Bye now.